Hi, my name is Martin Wilkinson. I'm the Senior Economic Development Manager for Hyphen Hydrogen Energy, in charge of training and development. The National Skills Census is a complementary tool to our National Skills Audit, which is now comparing the data that we've already collected for populating our occupational skills desires for 13 construction packages. So let's say that we've got solar installation as a construction package. We know we're going to need project managers, then we need technicians, then we need foremen, then we need artisans, and then we need entry-level labourers. So we've already populated that package, and now we need to see where are those in Namibia. And we need to find them in Namibia, not just through normal data collection, but we need people to volunteer their information so that we know that no Namibian is left behind. And that's why the skills census is so important. I think the skills gaps we've identified is not so much skills, but the qualifications that verify those skills. So our current TVET system almost stops at level 3. There's a number of qualifications that go to level 4, 5 and 6, but they are not always in the turning and fitting and the welding, electrical, supervisory control and data acquisition, modern ICT qualifications. A lot of them are finishing at level 3, so we need those level 4, 5 and especially 6 that oversees developers, not developers but our contractors, the big contractors that we will hire to start constructing the Hyphen Hydrogen production facility, are confident that we have the skills in the country. At the moment, level 3 is kind of a artisan level, but we need those higher levels. And I think level 3 artisans are also frustrated that they can't escalate through their career paths and their skills structure without those qualifications. Hyphen's already working with NTA in terms of skills development needs and sharing. I'm a member of the Industry Skills Committee for Energy, so we have a lot of different energy sector partners, oil and gas, NAMCOR, Hyphen itself, RIEON, which is Renewable Energy Association. We're all members of the Skills Committee, and we are feeding data to the Namibia Training Authority for skills needs. In another way, we are also looking at funding opportunities, for example, from the EU. Hyphen is working with NUST, with NamWater, and with NIMT to address those level 4, 5 and 6 qualifications gaps, and to create short courses where we know that those skills are going to be needed and in high numbers, like in solar installation, heavy plant operation, plumbing and pipe fitting, but in an industrial way, civil engineering. We are working to attract funding to the country so that we can upgrade our curriculum in TVET across numerous occupations. Because we've just recently teamed up with GIZ Namibia in their hydrogen energy program to train 28 youth ambassadors for green hydrogen. So they've just last week had a 5-day course on a green hydrogen masterclass from Dr. Detlof van Oortzen, and they are now going to attend the Green Hydrogen Summit to learn more about the sector, and then they'll go back to their regions. So they're 28, so there's 2 from each region, and they will be our ambassadors. They will run workshops, however they organize themselves, or we ask them to do it. So that's one way of addressing the skills and the information kind of gap that might exist in the regions. But we're also working with all of the VTCs, with private training providers, and with other human capacity development organizations across Namibia. Okay, so we hope in this day of social media, and we've got the QR code, we've got the short URL code, we've got the website also able to share far and wide. We hope that the youth really get on board with the census, that they don't look just left and right and be jealous and fill in the census and not share it with anyone, but make sure they share it across their families, their friends, their fellow graduates, to make sure that everybody responds so that we can have a good cross-section of all skills from entry level to PhD represented in Namibia. And in such respect, I don't think the social media is ever really going to deny people in the rural areas, as long as they have network, of course, but we'll also be in the print media as well, and people can submit their census wherever they have access. So the findings will identify the skills gaps. They'll also identify the occupational gaps, and they'll also identify those people who are unemployed but have qualifications, those people who are employed but are not working in the subjects that they studied for. So we know we've got lots of taxi drivers driving around with a level 3 electrical certificate in their pocket. Okay, not literally in their pocket, but there are so many people that are doing work for an income, but it's not what they studied for. Now when they complete the census and they say, I studied 3 years to be a like basically a mechanic, but they didn't find work as a mechanic, now we can say, okay, when we start construction, we need diesel mechanics, we need people on site to service our construction vehicles, etc., then they can be called up and filled into those positions. We want to say that we don't want to take so many people from existing employment and leave gaps where those other workers need to be replaced. We want to really focus on the unemployed, qualified people first, and then train the entry levels. So we don't want to frustrate the local economy and overheat the economy in terms of wage demand by headhunting people. We need to use that huge resource of unemployed Namibians who have already qualified, they've got some skills, they're doing some work wherever they can in their communities, but they're not yet fully formally employed. Okay, I think I've mentioned already, there's the QR code, there's the URL shortcode, there's the Hyphen website at www.hyphenafrica.com.na, and we will also be putting the access to the skills census in the local media. So just follow the links, and it's about 15 questions. It's really easy to fill in, but we get a lot of data out of that. At the end of the census, there's also an opportunity, when you completed the census rather, there's also an opportunity to upload your CV. That goes into our job seeker database, and then we can cluster all of those different occupations in our database, and then we can hand those clusters to our contractors so they can start calling and interviewing probably in around 2027, 2028. So there's a lot of time to prepare, and there's no reason to leave anyone behind.